Welcome to another video. Today we got the patch 6.4 battle system changes, and as most other content creators have talked about the other changes already just before the weekend, we want to focus here on all that's relevant for the battle system and basically job changes, and also the PvP changes that are being put into this patch too. So yeah, let's go into this, starting with a paladin, which seems to have a potency increase overall, but also the effect radius has been increased from Divine Veil. I don't know if that is kind of depending or connected to a battle arena that might be larger now compared to the previous battle arenas we had in the last tiers. But we will see about that, because I guess that's for many jobs. Shake It Off, Dark Missionary. Yeah, it seems that they kind of have this running as a baseline for all jobs. And yeah, above that, we have nice quality of life improvements for the paladin with Atonement. Execution no longer interrupts action combos. That means you can use that whenever you want. It makes the whole rotation a bit more fluent, and something I had wished for since they revamped the paladin. Actually before that too. I think that's definitely a good change now. And yeah, basically overall potency changes seems to be leading forward to bridge the gap between the other tanks and the Dark Knight. Yes, okay, Gunbreaker gets buffed too. So Brutal Shell, Heart of Light, effect rate is Keen Edge. Okay, but Gunbreaker doesn't get buffed in the same way that the others do, but they are kind of being equalized to the Dark Knight's damage output, which is still far ahead of the competition, at least when looking at certain websites. Alright, so yeah, overall just buffs to the warrior as well. Storm's Path, Storm's Eye, Felcleave. Felcleave is actually huge here. 30 potency on Felcleave, which is your biggest burst phase as well. Inner Chaos 10, but yeah, I think the 30 to Felcleave is kind of substantial, so I'm curious how that affects your overall DPS and burst phase in particular. Dark Knight, of course, just gets the radius, because Dark Knight is just simply super strong right now. Don't need to have any adjustments. Okay, so Monk only gets the range here too. And here's Dragoon. That's actually the big one. To improve the functionality of this action, jump will no longer affect the character's position as recognized by the server. They announced that in a live letter. The camera will no longer follow your character when executing jump. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, I guess now it's more like the Final Fantasy Tactics version of the high jump, because you're just dealing damage at a certain spot, but you're not actually moving there. And I'm curious to see that in live action, but I guess it's definitely a quality of life improvement for the battle and gameplay, because of not being so prone to AoEs and being lost somewhere or having to wait with your jump because you can't jump into the AoE around the boss or anything like that. It's kind of now, it feels like it's a flawless range attack that you can use whenever you like and whenever you need. Battle Litany, okay. Dragon Sight now nullifies action direction requirements. That's fire. That's nice. That's really good quality of life. So yeah, lots of quality of life for Dragoon here. High jump, of course, gets the same treatment as jump. Samurai actually gets a higher effect radius range for Tenka Goken, which is, makes sense. Keshi Goken as well. And we have the whole Ogi Keshi Namikiri combo with Shoha being buffed quite substantially, to be fair. Yeah, I think Isatsune as well. The big numbers get buffed a bit, which is always a good thing to have. Like I said, big numbers always feel better than just ordinary small numbers that you have many of, but having these big punch attacks inside of burst windows, they are the real deal in my opinion. And of course, numerical, they should be the real deal because of how your 2-minute window works into these big attacks and into buffs of your party. And yeah, Samurai, I think, was still kind of strong. I'm curious how that affects the balancing overall, but it might not actually be too much. Just 60 potency here. That's definitely not the biggest thing to have, but it's still a buff. Arcane Circle, of course, effect radius, Peloton, effect radius. Okay, everything is just the effect radius, but apart from that, Mage, Spell, Army Spell, and Battle, all of the Bard's skills except Battle Voice and the buffs here, Troubadour, Nature's Min, and Radiant Finale, have 15 yams now. I'm not sure why that is the case, why this is considered to be more range ineffective or more range reliant. I think Square Enix has thoughts about this, and we might actually see that. Maybe some Bard mains can tell me why the Minwits or Peon and Ballad have a less consistent range here and need to be buffed more than the others do. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it might be a larger arena that we have in the new Pandemonium raid, so it could be because of that. Tactician for Machinist, basically everything just the YAM range, but no adjustments here, by the way. No numerical potency buffs or nerfs for Bard, Machinist, and Dancer. Okay, I'm not sure about this. I would have seen... If they would have increased the damage of these jobs a bit more, I think this could have been the best balancing overall for the game ever. But it's still fine. I think it's still fine. The last changes to Machinist brought a good quality to the job again, and being relevant to the meta, technically, compared to the other jobs too. Black Mage gets also a buff. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to, because I felt like Black Mage is still the most powerful job, or it should still be the most powerful job, because of how hard it is to pull off the Black Mage damage, and how you still need to adjust your party a bit to make the Black Mage work the way it should. And this is definitely a good sign. But here, this is actually the big one. Xenoglossy, of course, 80 potency is not bad, but magic damage increase has been changed from 21 to 23% on the whole enhanced Enochian 3. If I'm not completely dumb now, and this only affects Xenoglossy, and this is kind of the same thing here, which I don't think it is, then it's 2% uplift overall. I think it's just buffing your overall damage, right? So that's actually substantial. We'll see about that. We'll have the FF logs data very soon, I guess. Maybe in 2 or 3 days from now on. All right, so basically all the other jobs get the YAMS treatment and have a bit of the effect radius increased. White Mage gets a bit more dot potency here. I'm not sure why that is the case, but it's a mild adjustment that might actually be more than we think now, because 5 on the dots is really something. But we'll see. Why is the potency, the base potency, increased to 65? That actually is kind of weird. They should just increase the dot. However, yeah, nonetheless, YAM increasing for all the Scholar skills here. Some of them had been on 10 YAMs. That will of course be 15 YAMs now. Sacred Soil, yeah, that's the dome, which of course in 30 YAMs would not make sense because it's a bit too powerful then. Astrologian has range of additional effect, reducing damage taken by 10% has been increased from 8 to 13 YAMs. Okay, 30 YAMs, that's insane. That's a big boost to the range of collective unconsciousness. Additional effect, reducing damage taken now has a duration of 5 seconds. This effect will be reapplied upon re-entering the bounds of collective unconsciousness. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So you can kind of snapshot the effect and then reapply it before it runs off. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, Sage gets the same treatment, and Eucrasian Doses 3 gets a potency buff of 5. Is that the dot too? It feels like this is the dot. Then okay, that it's kind of the same as White Mage, and they might adjust these because of Scholar and Astrologian taking the lead in DPS positions. But yeah, take that with a grain of salt. I don't have any clue about Sage still. I still have to play it. I don't know why I didn't do it yet, but there are plans in my mind to do it and actually play this job too. Alright, so much for the PvE changes. Now to the PvP job changes, which I have kinda dipped my toe into Crystalline Conflict quite frequently and decently in the last couple of weeks, so I'm kinda interested to see that as well. And I think there were a couple of broken things and balancing issues. They were present, and maybe they fixed that today. Let's see about that. Holy Shelter on potency of damage dealt if the barrier is not absorbed and the effect duration expires has been changed from 2000 plus 50% of the barrier's remaining potency to 100% of the barrier's remaining potency. I think that's actually fine, because yeah, when the potency or the damage is not absorbed entirely, it's exactly at the same spot where the threat from the paladin is coming from, and now it's kinda a more consistent threat because of, yeah, you can advance further even though nobody's attacking you. You still get the buff here, and yeah, I would say it's more like a quality of life change than an actual game-changing thing, because yeah, now you don't have the bad dissatisfaction if that doesn't work, if you're using Holy Sheltron and kind of the effect didn't work at all. It's more like the Blackest Night now for the Dark Knight, I think. It's more in line with this. Okay, Monk. Potency of pressure point effects, additional damage has been reduced. Reduced. Okay. I'm not sure if I would have welcomed a Monk nerf on that one attack, because actually, yeah, Monk doesn't deal much damage overall, but in the, yeah, when the 5th chakra or the 5th stance has been opened up, that's where Monk damage comes in, and I think nerfing these little sparks here of burst of the Monk is not really necessary. Wind Resonance effect duration has been increased from 5 to 10 seconds. Wind Resonance effect duration extension has been increased from 5. Okay, at least, yeah, the Thunderclap effect now has longer duration. At least that's kind of the counter effect to buff the utility a bit and nerf the burst damage, which I'm not sure about. I mean, Dragoon deals up to 40,000, 50,000 damage in 2 to 3 seconds, and that's not even close here. Why should you nerf that? I'm a bit concerned here. Okay, Dragoon next, and I can already see it's overall, these are buffs. Why? Why are you buffing this job? It's a destroyer of teams. Wormwind Thrust has been changed so that the low range of Wormwind Thrust, so when you're using this in front of your enemy, which you should never do, because when using your Gears Gugul and then using Wormwind Thrust at range, you can deal 20,000 damage into the whole team. That's insane DPS. That's amazing. You can literally kill people with that. You jump in, then use your melee attack, and then use your Nestron to kill targets in just the blink of an eye, like I just told you. That's crazy. Heaven's Thrust, potency damage. Wow. So the combo finisher is also stronger now. Horrid Roar actually deals more damage now. Why? What are you doing, Square Enix? Did you ever play that Crystalline Conflict? Dragoon is so powerful already. Why are you just pushing this? Potency has been reduced from 80,000 to 16,000. Increased potency of 32 of 5 targets has not been changed. Yeah, okay, so that actually doesn't do anything, because this is kind of irrelevant damage, because you always want to try to get close to targets, so this is the relevant one, and that's not changed. And these are changed. Now you can potentially use Wormwind Thrust in melee combat and still kill targets with Nastron afterwards, and don't have to always rely on the range. That's sick. I don't know. Why should you buff that job that feels to be the strongest melee job right now? But okay, we'll see about that. Bunshin effect duration has been reduced from 30 to 20 seconds. Okay, that's a big one, actually. Now you can use it way more frequently. Sight-on Tenshu, time required to fill the limit gauge has been increased from 90 to 105. Okay, that's not too much, but it's still a bit of a nerf, which I also don't consider to be... Yeah. Why should you do that, Square? I think the assassination skill... Maybe they should reduce if they're worried about the assassination and Deathlink effect. I think they should reduce the duration between... Or the duration of Deathlink, that you can connect your killing blows consecutively. So that's something I would actually address more than this year. But yeah, okay, fine. I was not worried about ninjas, but just yesterday we had a very powerful ninja destroying our team, and then I played with the ninja together, and we literally killed targets insanely fast. The game lasted 2 minutes, I guess. That was really crazy. Okay, Samurai Hisatsu Shiten Kusushi effect duration has been increased from 3 to 4 seconds. That's good. Yeah, that's always a good thing. People need to be aware of the Shiten effect and don't have to run into their death. And I like that it's a bit longer now, because If they are aware of the fact that they get killed when attacking the samurai with that, they are kind of just dodging for a couple of seconds, like the 3 seconds before. Now they have to dodge longer, and this gives the samurai and the team of the samurai a bit of a time advantage. So I'm glad to see that a bit, because that kind of felt a bit worthless, the limit break, when you're playing on high-ranked Crystalline Conflict matches. Reaper, Soul Slice, recast time has been reduced from 20 to 15 seconds. I haven't played the Reaper for too long, but that could be a big one, actually. Soul Slice seems to, should be the OGCD that you're using in between. And this is kind of helpful to establish your rotation. And Grim Swathe, maximum stacks of Soul Reaver have been reduced from 2 to 1. Okay, I'm not sure about this. If that actually means you're consuming less now too, or if you just don't have the maximum capacity, which I don't know why they're doing it, but Reaper mains will know what that means. But I guess it will not change the meta placement of a Reaper, and that Reaper is still a bit bad in my opinion in Crystalline Conflict now, and something they should definitely work on. I love the Reaper from the design and the fact that you can fear people out of the crystal zone, a crystal area. That's cool. I like that. But if that's the only thing the Reaper has and no other threat is served, it feels a bit lacking in my opinion. Okay, Bard. That's actually, they changed quite a lot here, to be fair. The Bard potency has been reduced from 2000 to 0. Okay. Range has been reduced. Silence effect. Oh, wow. That's a big, big nerf to the Bard. Of course, now you can't use, or you should not use it for the potency, which doesn't make too much sense before too, but okay, you have to be super precise with Silent Nocturne now. That's crazy. 2 seconds, that's a big deal here. That's really a big deal. Sometimes you could just use it kind of randomly when you burst and kind of set up for the kill with regardless of perfect timing. Now you need to time it properly. And you also have to be in range. 15 yams is not too far off, so that's kind of a big nerf for the Bard. Why ever that happens, I'm not sure about this. Bard didn't seem to be too overpowered in my opinion, but okay. Square Enix, you might have more knowledge than I have. You might have played more Crystalline Conflict than I did. Apex Arrow is buffed. That's good. That's good, because I felt this felt a bit lacking compared to the just ordinary rotation. Repelling Shot is also buffed now. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. This is one of the most important utilities you have, but it's good that it's also dealing damage now, because it can set the kill from time to time. Okay, the Warden's Spear and Warden's Grace Effect reducing damage taken has been changed from 20% to 25%. Warden's Grace Effect increasing HP recovered by healing actions has been changed from 20 to 25%. Okay, so they're kind of nerfing the kill potential of the Bard a bit, but overall buffing the damage plus the utility a bit. Yeah, that might be a fair change to be real here. I think that's not too bad. The kill potential is kind of too powerful in certain team compositions. I played with a Bard yesterday, and every time I've seen the silence effect on the target, I could easily set the kill, and the enemy could not do anything about it because the silence is just so long. That's definitely something I'm kind of satisfied with, to be fair. Okay, Bioblaster potency now is doubled while under the effect of analysis. That's definitely good, because I always felt like you have to skip Bioblaster. Whatever you do, try to go through Bioblaster, use it, and then have the whole range of the other skills available. That's definitely something cool. Chainsaw, on the other hand, gets nerfed to 8,000 potency. Potency is now increased by 50% when target's HP is below 50%. The additional effect, 3% chance to deal damage equal to 95% of target's HP while under the effect of analysis, has been changed to potency is increased by 50% while under the effect of analysis. Wow, okay. Okay, that's the big change now to the mechanic, which I definitely like, because this, to be fair, this effect is totally pointless. It was cool if it worked, but it basically never did. So, yeah, I like that, actually. I like that, because now you have a bit more reasonable decision-making to be done here. You have to kill targets or reduce targets' HP below 50%, then use analysis and deal lots of damage. Red Mage. The additional effect of barrier potency has been increased by 10% when targets afflicted with monogamy. Okay, yeah, that's good. We have a bit of defensive utility buff to the Red Mage, which I still felt to be lacking since they nerfed Red Mage multiple times, and it felt kind of squishy. That's kind of replacing Gibbet and Gallows. I still think there's something missing on the Reaper. I would see a target fear, something like that. That the target is trembling in place or anything like they have in certain other MMOs. Yeah, that the Reaper actually has control over killing targets. I think that's something I would love to see being added to the overall skill set of the Reaper. But yeah, so far, I think we're fine with this. Healers were fine, except for the White Mage. They need to make the transformation, the polymorph effect, removable, in my opinion. But yeah, that's it. So far for the job changes. Yeah, let's just wait some more hours and let's do all the content as soon as possible and enjoy it as best as possible. But yeah, of course, take your time. You will have lots of time for all of this to clear. And yeah, that's basically it for job changes for PvE and PvP. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful patch day, and there will be more videos today, I guess. I suppose. So yeah, stick around for that. And of course, like always, keep loving Final Fantasy.